Hello Libra, Libra rising, and Libra moon people. This is your monthly astrological horoscope for March 2017. And a quick reminder for you guys, remember this talks about big, sweeping seasonal energies and seasonal trends that go on in the horoscope. If you're looking for more day-to-day or weekly concerns, I would recommend checking out the weekly horoscopes. The first half is exclusively astrology, so even if you only like astrology, there's still something for you there too. And of course, if you'd ever like to get a session with me, you can always follow the links below, or go to integrativemysticism.com. So, what is going on this month? Libra. Well, we've got a large amount of planetary activity focusing on Aries, their 7th house of your closest one-on-one relationships. Alright, so that could be a best friend, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, business partner, roommates, collaborators, your closest, tightest, most involved one-on-one relationships are being affected and are being put into priority this month. And it all starts in the very beginning with Jupiter retrograde in your sign, making a lovely connection to Uranus, currently in your partnership sector. And this is some kind of big breakthrough. This is some kind of unexpected opportunity coming your way from somebody who you already are familiar with. This could be a love opportunity, this could be a business opportunity. The thing about Jupiter retrograde is, though, it's not somebody brand new. This is somebody in your own backyard. This could be somebody from your past, yes, but this could also be somebody who, you know, maybe we are considered still friends or still colleagues, or, you know, maybe we have some kind of group affiliation, but we're finally getting closer. We're probably upgrading or promoting this person in a big way. Or there may be happenstance or circumstance in the first 3 weeks of this month that kind of conspire to bring us closer together for whatever it is needs to have a big payoff. Now we do have Venus retrograde as well happening in this part of your chart, and it starts early in the month around the 3rd and it just goes all the way until the first week of April, at least in this part of your chart. And with Venus retrograde, it's important to pay attention to where it's not the same as a Mercury retrograde. Alright, Mercury retrograde plays on communications in the mind, whereas Venus retrograde plays by a completely different set of rules, and it goes into the realm of feelings and emotions. It is Venus, after all. And there are 3 things to keep in mind when it comes to Venus retrograde. Temptation, trust issues and insecurities, and then we've also got instant gratification and the focus on it. Because sometimes Venus retrograde does that. Venus retrograde wants the instant gratification, doesn't care about the bigger picture, it cares about feeling better in the now. And, you know, there will be temptations a lot during this time to perhaps go there with somebody that we don't belong there with, whether it's in a romantic sense, maybe we try too hard to make it work with somebody who's meant to be just a friend. Or maybe we're already in a relationship, but, you know, we're trying to do something different. We're trying to change the relationship into something that's not natural to both of us. And again, it's a temporary aspect. And we always have control when it comes to astrology. I was just telling the Virgos, whether or not we're hijacked by these energies ultimately is up to us. But when it comes to the Venus retrograde kind of energy, pay attention to where you, or a partner, or a crush, or somebody you're involved with, you know, we're having some kind of insecurity come up. Okay? Because basically what it's doing, this energy will exploit or take advantage of what's already there. Okay? This isn't anything new. This is something that's already there. And it could even be with a best friend. We could be having arguments about money, arguments about trust, again, living situations. It doesn't have to be about love, but we will have to assess where are these issues coming up to be healed and cleared, not mashed back down, you know, and buried. This can also show up where I would honestly say it's just not a good idea to become official with anyone during a Venus retrograde, because again, we might be becoming official for the sake of feeling good about being official as opposed to being official for the right reasons. And again, if it can't wait till after Venus retrograde, then it's probably not strong enough to take what it means to be in an official relationship anyway, so it should be able to last the way. The nice thing about Venus retrograde here, though, and there is such a thing, is that it is also going to be allowing us to finally break through some walls or some, you know, maybe some emotional unavailability that could be going on in a close one-on-one relationship, patching things up for good, so long as everything is honest, open, and true. Now we also have Mars, immediately after that, moving into Taurus, your 8th house of shared resources, intimacy, and self-employment income. So while we have all that going on, everything else here seems to be going just hunky-dory. In fact, with Mars going into the 8th house, you can expect your self-employment income or your supplemental income, money that you get outside of your regular salary hourly income, going through a huge boost and getting a big payoff. This can also speak to intimacy for the duration of this month. While things might be emotionally a little bit interesting, we may also have intimacy being as close or as hot or as, as sexy as it ever was, at the risk of sounding smutty, which I will probably stop right now. In fact, with Mars this month, it's a great opportunity to get reacquainted, I guess you could say, with your intimate or sexual being, and actually find a way to relate better to a partner, or find a partner to relate to in that way. We've also got, on the 10th, overnight into the 11th, a full moon in Virgo, which is going to be in your 12th house, your past, your hidden zone, your privacy area. And this is going to be a moon that is meant for, getting things set straight, letting go of the past, and possibly forcing us to get over some things that we didn't know we weren't over. And so between the 10th and the, and the 24th, it's important to pay attention to where are we not giving ourselves a clean slate? Or new people a clean slate? Are we really actually free of maybe some old issues that we have no business with a person or with a group? There could be also some opportunities to kind of bury the hatchet during this time with somebody from our past, get water under the bridge in that respect. This could be a troubling moon for folks who might not necessarily feel ready, and you don't have to do it if you don't want to, but it is a good opportunity to take for healing nonetheless. After that, we've got Mercury moving into your partnership sector, and again, we're talking about breaking down walls. We're talking about opening up lines of communication for closeness, and the Sun is moving into this area as well, focusing on patching up, healing, and getting more out of our closest one-on-one relationships. And a lot of this can also talk about infusing more of a platonic strength to your relationships. Obviously, it takes more for a long-term relationship to work than just the romance and the intimacy part, am I right? It's, the strongest couples are able to, even have that BFF family kind of quality. And that's what we're bringing in to the last 2 weeks of this month, really offsetting, some of the I guess you could say, the neediness that can come from the Venus retrograde. So you are going to be noticing a lot of people becoming more apt and more available to have closer relationships with you and bond. And this could be fixing a lot of issues. If there have been fights with roommates, if there's been issues again with best friends and collaborators, business partners, your romantic life seems to be doing just fine, but it's also about getting the other one-on-one relationships on track that we, want to have this focus on. And a lot of these energies will be lasting again the last half of the month. Finally, we've got Mercury moving on into your 8th house, and it's going to be speeding up developments when it comes to handling shared resources and income that you do need to settle. If you've been having challenges with maybe, getting money that is owed to you, we're kind of building up to a big payout and payoff time for a lot of you Libra people. And you may also be finding out that with Mercury going into your 8th house, a personal enterprise or a lot of your personal business work is starting to actually germinate a lot more interest much more quickly than you could have expected. Mercury in the 8th house is also a good time for settling any kind of outstanding business, be it financial or not, with people that you have collaborated with in the past. And it looks like it's all about, again, setting the record straight and burying the hatchet. So it looks like a very good month for a lot of you Libra people in a lot of respects. And sometimes, it might be a bit of a challenge every once in a while, because it really shows us how far we've come or not come. But I think a lot of you are going to come out of this with a huge reward as far as this is concerned. And I think that this is going to also, it's sort of a test. It's like a trial by fire. If you can pass it, you're going to be so happy. You're going to have such a great, sort of evolution, promotion, graduation kind of feel, and, possibly reward an award by the end of it all. So just keep that in mind, eyes on the prize. So that is your forecast, Libra. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And of course, if you'd like to get a session, you can always follow the links below or go to integrativemysticism.com.